Beautiful and simple, two things most of us would love to see and have in our everyday lives. Sarase Paruima, the jewel of the Kamarang River. Open yards, low-cut lawns, fresh air with every breath, these are all normal things here. The Crow and Rooster starts the day early, and what better way than with a hearty breakfast? Plantain porridge and freshly made cassava bread with a spread of anerpa. And if you're wondering, yes, those are termites. You would think making a trip to the river to fetch water is normal, but for most of the residents, it is just a walk outside, thanks to a natural spring right here in the village that provides potable water for use. Although mostly sunny so far, keeping track of the weather is very important for villagers and even more when traveling here.
Yes, this is Paruma Hydromet Station. I work with the Ministry of Agriculture under the Hydromet Department. Every morning I come here to take measurements from the various instruments that are placed here at the station. This is important when it comes to agriculture because the farmers need to know about the rainfall and the sunshine and all of those. It's also important because the rainfall also affect the airstrip.
Another important part of the village is their health post. Shondell Thomas has been a healthcare worker in Paruima for more than 4 years.
Here as a community health worker, I've been doing, I do weighing of babies, and I also look after pregnant women every Thursdays. And then in between there, in outpatients that I see every day, like even midnight, somebody would come and say, I'm sick, and so I have to attend to them. We would like a doctor station here in Paruima, so it would be better for us and easier for us, to make the work easier for us here in Paruima.
The more serious health cases have to be referred to the closest hospital, which is usually a 4-hour journey along the Kamarang River. But if you were there under different circumstances, you would be overwhelmed by the captivating scenery along the river. Fishing is something that is typically done along the riverbanks and creeks. A morite, which is an indigenous tool, is still used by some. It is set at the head of a creek and camouflaged with bushes to lure the fishes inside. Fishing can also be done using a traditional arrow and bow. Did you know that Arakunas make smaller forms of the arrow and bow among other things as crafts?
It's made of wood, so don't be afraid. The huntsmen use them on the little creatures, not the deer or not the bigger creatures.
The headdress is possibly the most recognizable symbol of the Amerindian peoples.
It is made from manari, a special vine, mokro. These, if you It usually shows when you're of a special, for example, a chief has symbols. So once there are beads on, it shows that you're a member of the chief's family.
Okay.
And this special rain stick.
Okay. What is
It's called the rain stick. Yes, it's the rain stick. During the dry season, when there's dry, they believe that when you do this, the rain would fall.
Oh.
That it would call the rain. So
Personally believe that.
yes, I feel that craft making is very essential. Without craft, there is no beauty. Well, we need craft in our everyday lives, like as in this. Without this, how would we catch fish?
So, outside of it being essential to livelihood, does it have any other value to your life, to your people? Do you think so?
Yes, I think it helps us keep our culture alive.
As Galina said, preserving culture is important to the Arakuna people, as is their language.
Upata yuanope ikutok. Yura ekurai chagarara Guyana flag I namaning pe. Lairang peteseng pe upata pag. Upata may mura warda etope. Upeto inong ining kaning pe tope. Maroto po tu kara umerunda yirapoira waku pori maning nening pe Guyana lak.
That was their national pledge recited in Arakuna by Gidiana, who is an active youth in the community. Most of the youths in Paruma take part in sports, specifically football and volleyball.
The sports is very, very important for these young people at Paruima. Not only young people, even with the old people, right? The old, right? So they are very passionate, and these are the games that they played: volleyball and football. Throughout the week, they would be playing. Especially on Sundays, is whole day they would be playing. Looking at it from when I started, looking at it, yes, it has improved, but it has lots of space, big gap there where the finance is concerned. I think we have lots of skilled people and talented young people around here, and if they should be given exposure at the national level, I'm sure they can do very well.
Football has brought young people together to interact with others and build themselves.
On special occasions or holidays, the entire village would come out and join in an entire day of sporting activities. Like sports, the church also unites the people. Established in 1930, the Seventh-day Adventist Church offers a place for anyone to seek guidance, protection, and blessings.
It is benefit to all community members because it is teaching a lot of things from what we were living before. We were living in not moral behavior, but now it's moral, where people can share friendship and other good things. So in our community, people are living peacefully now. So it's a great benefit to our community members.
In 1984, the church suffered a heavy hit from a gust of wind which caused it to collapse. It was then redesigned to the building you see today. Mr. Lee Williams, former Tushao and current Member of Parliament, is a respected individual of the village.
Before I became the Member of Parliament, I was once a villager and also a village leader. The village has a way of developing themselves in a self-help activities. We don't depend on the government solely, but we do our activities. That's how we develop. And here you can find Paruma as like well organized. But there are certain things that the government would put in to boost our activities, economical activities or whatever, infrastructural activities. There is no immediate employment. So here in Paruma, we venture into tourism so that we can have local employment here. We have been receiving visitors in line of tourism, but we at an early stage where we don't have eco-lodges here or guest house, but tourism have been very positive impact on our lives in Paruma, where it creates employment, it brings in income, but we have more rooms to do that, and we're working on that so that the tourism or Paruma can be #1 tour destination. The site that we can visit here in Paruma is mountain. There's sightseeing, we have river rafting, we have sacred site that we can visit, but the distance and the waterfalls.
A must-see site in Paruma village is Apurva, Aquina. This journey is not for the faint of heart. It was smooth sailing until we came across huge rocks in the river that forced us off the path onto a trail. After a demanding hike around, we made it to the other side. It was then back to the boat. A little further downriver, we arrived at Urichang Doi. This means Girl Savannah. The name was given to the savannah after the disappearance of a young girl. She was last seen playing at the riverside. This sad tale is one of the village's folklore. Back to our journey, Apurva Aquina is now within reach. Into the final trail we go, faced with narrow pathways and loose ground. One wrong step could be disastrous. Nevertheless, our resilience is worthwhile. Apurva Aquina awaits. This breathtaking triple drop waterfall is one of many beauties that can be found in Paruima. After this amazing journey, it is obvious to see why Paruima is considered by us the jewel of the Kamarang. Beautiful and simple, the way life should be.